A question that we frequently get is, how much is my case worth? And really it depends on three main factors. And the first factor that you look at is how serious was your injury. And serious doesn't necessarily mean that you broke a bone or that you had a torn ligament, though that can be a factor. A bigger factor is how much did it affect your life and on how many different levels. Did it affect your daily living, or did it only hurt once in a while, or did it really not change the way you live? All those things go into the meaning of serious. And obviously the more serious your injury, the more your case is going to be worth. The next thing that we look at is basically how much the other party was at fault. In some cases they're 100% at fault, and in other cases maybe someone other than the person that caused your injury is at fault. And that might even be you. And if there is some comparative negligence on your own end, your case might be worth less than if the other party was 100% at fault. And the last factor that we look at is where the injury occurred. In some cases, if you are injured in a more rural area where there's less people or less big cities, juries think in smaller numbers than they would in a bigger city like Wayne County in Michigan. So where you actually get injured has a substantial effect on how much your case is worth. And when you want to determine that question, you've got to look at all three of these factors, kind of lump them together and kind of come up with a idea of how much it's worth. And really, you need an attorney that is experienced not only where the injury occurred and what type of injury you have, but also knowledgeable about the laws to determine who's at fault and by how much. And by looking at all these three factors, hopefully an attorney can be able to tell you how much your case is worth.